So in this game we're playing as Nigma. I have this Earth Spirit mid, and they countered the Earth Spirit mid with the Husker pick. So obviously this lane is not good for the Earth Spirit. So basically what I want to do in this lane is get my levels, start roaming, or ask for my support to help. This lane ended up being very close, but in the end he came on top. So then it was just about playing from behind. And yeah, here's a good example. I'm trying to go on him. It ends up not working, and now this lane is very miserable. There's no way I can come back into this lane, but I decide to still TP mid. It's probably a mistake, and I end up dying again. Like, this is very horrible for my game. And now you just need to start. I really need to start thinking like, what can I do for my team that will help my team? Because this mid lane is never gonna be good for me. All I'm looking to do is get some levels, and then I will start roaming the map and break the lanes. This is basically what you always have to do when you have a bad lane. You just break the lanes. And here I'm going for the late bounty rune. They didn't pick it up. And this is when I decide that it's time to leave the lane. I'm level 5 only, 6 minutes in. It's very bad for a mid laner. But the best thing I can do is still start making plays happen. Creating pressure on their safe lane, it's always good. 2 TPs already. We get the kill on the Luna, and we end up getting 2 TPs from them. And it was very good for us. Now it's already, the map is much easier for us to play. Like now this Husker, he can be very vulnerable to ganks, and he's playing super aggressive because he has to. When his other core is dying, he has to be aggressive, but we're ready to punish them when they go aggressive on us. So here, like sometimes as a mid player, you would probably think about catching up, farming the jungle, getting the most out of the map. But instead, I just decide that I want to make pressure on the enemies. Like instead of trying to catch up, I just want to just keep playing aggressive on them. So here I have a good ward on the hill. I can see exactly what's happening. I see these 3 guys and I'm like, okay, this is very good for me. I see all of them chasing me. This is exactly what I want. I want to make space for my team. I want to make them react to what I'm doing instead of just staying AFK and farming jungle. And now when I do this, it ends up being really good for us. It makes them overextend, and then we end up getting very crucial kills on them, and this way opening the map more for us. Like now I can go back to mid lane and farm for free. Their heroes are dead, and I can catch up this way instead of going jungle. In conclusion of the laning phase, like when you're playing from behind, usually you need to have a clear plan of what are you gonna do after a certain point. Like certain lanes you cannot enter the lane after like he gets level 5, something like this. So in those cases, you have to have a plan, like how to break the lanes, how to get the most out of the map, how to be useful for my team. And so most games, when you're playing from behind, you want to start ganking, roaming, and making your own pressure happen, while the enemy mid laner is just staying mid and farming. You are actually going to be more useful by ganking the enemy carry and making your own pressure. Yeah, playing from behind as a team, it's always a difficult task, because most of these games you're gonna lose eventually, because if the enemy team is good, they're gonna use their advantage to win the game. That's how Dota works. The item advantage they have is very difficult to come back into the game. So in these situations, you really need to start taking risks and start playing the map to the limit. Like you have to start split pushing and like going on the openings you see, because the openings are going to be very limited. So every time you see a hero alone, you should probably take the chance of trying to kill him, even though you don't have all the information that they're not behind him, but you just have to take the chance. So your mentality has to be you have to be willing to take risks, and you have to be really sharp. Like every second, like think about like once you see a guy, you straight up take the chance. Like even though it might be like 3 minutes of like nothing happening, as soon as you see a guy, you have to be sharp and take the chance. and that's how you get back into the game. The way you can really practice playing from behind is when you play the pub games and you fall behind, you really just start thinking about ways to manipulate the map and like really just still try your best. Like even when you're very far behind, like the enemy team can always make bad mistakes, and you can capitalize on those and really just. It's like in Dota, there's always chances to come back into the game, and no matter how far behind you are, as long as you're sharp and you communicate with your team or you're on the same page, there's always going to be opportunities to come back in the game.